All right, so the first state is the resting state, and we have the sodium channel, the potassium channel, and the inactivation gates. The sodium ions are out of the membrane, while the potassium ions are inside the membrane.
Okay, the second one is depolarization, and you take a few sodium that goes through the membrane, then, I hate this.
More potassium goes into the potassium channel and then comes back out, and that makes it negative 55 millivolts.
Yeah, and then the sodium comes out.
Okay. So the third step is the rising phase of the action potential. So we have the sodium out of the membrane, and it goes through the sodium channel into the membrane, while the potassium just goes in and then back in the potassium channel and back into the membrane. And that makes it positive 40 millivolts.
For the fourth one, it is the falling phase of the action potential, and the sodium comes out, and which makes more potassium that comes out, and the sodium comes out.
And the fifth stage is the undershoot, which is when sodium goes into the sodium channel and then comes back out of the membrane, and then potassium comes out of the membrane into the potassium channel, and then it makes it negative 90 to negative 80 millivolts.
We have a little demonstration for you about everything that is what we just explained. Okay, so resting state, the potassium goes in that's sodium.
No, it's the sodium.
Okay, the potassium goes inside the potassium channel. Okay, and then just put it on the end. And then depolarization, the sodium comes in through the sodium channel and comes out on the other side of the plasma membrane. The potassium comes out of the potassium channel. And so for the rising phase of the action potential, the sodium goes inside the sodium channel again. There's more sodium ions just keep going into that cell. And and the potassium comes out of the potassium channel again. And then also sodium comes out of the inactive, the ones that were in inactive gates are now active. And so the falling phase of the action is the sodium coming out of the cell, only this way, and potassium coming out of the cell, and the more sodium coming out of the cell. It's all coming out of the cell, which is out here. And then the undershoot is when the potassium comes out of the cell and the sodium come out of the gate.